Hello, hello, hello. This is episode 49 of the Mental Threads podcast. I'm here with a very special guest, if you'd like to introduce himself.
How you doing? I'm Jeremy, and I'm into Reiki. That's what I do. Like as a whole, I'm a cook as well. Just on some what I do. You may see me doing day to day, but as a whole, I'm just a fun-loving being, and I'm here kicking it with my guy T today. So shit. Hopefully, we got some fire for y'all.
Yeah,
Hell
so
yeah.
basically Chef Homeboy RD with a little recce here and
Bro, that's how I be
there.
feeling too, bro, in the kitchen. I ain't gonna lie, I be chefing for real. Only for bread though. You gotta pay me to chef. Oh me.
But the whole recce thing, you want to go a little bit deeper on that? So it's like basically it's just like spiritual healing in a sense?
Yeah, so like basically it's like if I was to be a masseuse for like your aura or your chakra system, um, which can also like physically like give aids and kind of release pains. Like certain things, like a little thing. Like sometimes people may have like hip issues because of how much trauma they're carrying in their hip, especially the hips. The hips carry so much trauma. But anyway, like other places and other spots, and it's more than a body part. But kind of just getting in tune with that spirit, and realizing that you're still a spirit having a human experience. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the part. You're a spirit before you a human. That's how we had that connection for real.
You scared the shit out of me for this. So you said we be giving people AIDS. I'm like, what? Oh my god, you
Oh
giving
no.
people AIDS? I'm like, oh my god.
We ain't doing no testing Tuskegee stuff over here. No, we looking for all ailments. We looking for AIDS. We look like, and not AIDS, but aid as in first aid, as in like medicinal, solutions for all types of products, alternative, and that's sourced from the earth more, and not really engineered out of labs. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the things that we need already grows from the earth. You know what I mean? So we don't really need much, but now we just want more. You know what I'm saying? You might not want some goddamn broccoli or sweet potatoes at the ground, but hot Cheetos is an option now. You know what I'm saying? You might want hot Cheetos over that. It's like you want that, but you ain't never need hot Cheetos. You know what I'm saying? You don't need that shit. Shit like that.
Yeah, man. That's just kind of how life is right now. I know it's just like a lot of our needs is kind of overshadowed by our wants. We live in a capitalistic society of that nature, and at the same time, it's just like with social media at the hands. It's like it's always seems that there's always that next thing. That always next
Hell
that's always that thing that you really that's like you got this thing, you're cool with this thing, but you want another thing. So it's just like I feel like especially for our generation, especially we need to practice more gratitude for sure. Even in my case, I feel like I need to practice gratitude. But I feel like it's one thing like like I feel like that just comes with being ambitious at the same time. Even for my case, it's just like I'm about to graduate from whole ass university, but at the same time it just feels like this isn't enough. I need to do more and everything. And it's like surely I want to get my master's, and then down the line I want to definitely get my doctorates one day if that's the case, because it's just something about it. I feel like something in the universe, something is telling me you need to get your doctorates eventually. Somehow it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But you need to get it like
Right.
like when the time comes
Yeah.
and everything. And I really look forward to possibly making that a reality as best I can. And it's just that sense of just I just can't sit still and just be settled with this. So it's just I feel like that's just the part of the human experience. It's just like the parts that just kind of push us to be ambitious. It's just like a new year and everything. You see how I am? I slimmed down a whole lot and everything out of nowhere. Most of that's just stress as it is. But I hope to pretty much turn that around to just like where I can be able to build on my body and everything. Maybe in the next 3 years for sure. Maybe I can be kind of built
Hey,
well
the
and
next
everything.
man, you already doing it, bro. That's what I'm saying. You already got slimmer, like, bro. You look different, like that's why I said that. Because even the last time I seen you, you was just way slimmer. But like now, you just like now it's like a constant. Like you're just slim now. You have that frame, so the rest is gonna come with it, man. But yeah, like with that needs and wants, man, that's true. Like society wise, like especially now, I think it's harder to know what you need and what you want because like social media like gives a perception where it's like you feel like if you don't have this, then you're not this, or you don't have this, then you're not this. Capitalism as a whole, I would even just say American mindset as of now, because what like even just an American dream has been built off of is being sleep to achieve some simple materialistic things that will not really give you a leverage in your own life in the sense of like being peaceful and fulfilled with living your own life. Because even when you add up the image, it's like, but does it feel right? So like certain things, like even we was talking about, like we was walking, out just cooling earlier. It's like even certain shit like passing the McLaren store. It's like for some people, it's like that's a thing where it's like they could die over trying to achieve getting a McLaren and owning a McLaren. Like they put their life on the line on it says, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. And put their life on their line for a materialistic object that it's like once you drive it for the first week like anything, or you know what I'm saying, you drive for the first week, it's wraps. You don't really care no more. You're not tripping, you're used to it. You're like, okay, this is cool. But it doesn't bring you like the joy that you thought it was gonna bring you and the shit that you felt like it was gonna bring you. I feel like that's the difference between the wants and the needs. Cause like sometimes what you need is like some shit you didn't know. But then it's like you sit there and you relax and you just think about it. Just more I would say like of looking for that fulfillment for yourself. Like what do you need outside of yourself that source back to spirit? As in like what did spirit bring you here that you need to do? Not that you wanted it, because that's the part that confuses the human experience. Like I feel like the human experience is more of like you run into so many wants and temptations and think that's a part of that human experience. But then it's like spirit always gave you like you always gonna know what you need, I feel like. But it's just harder to reach that when you so fulfilled with like it's just want. Yeah, man.
And want is something that could just never be satisfied no matter what, because there's always going to be more and everything of that nature. It's easy to want, but it's hard to really just feel grateful for what you got, for sure. And it's just like, I swear, it's just like, and I always try to remind myself, and even me and my brother had this conversation from time to time and everything, that we complain about certain things, but it's like, you check the videos on Vice about Liberia and everything and West Point and just like, just
they still stuck on the war part, like the warlords and all kind of stuff. That was a big thing, like even why my family moved away from Liberia. You know what I'm saying? They moved during a time where it's like, that's all about this. Well, I mean, but the people that was capable of it. Because like even think about the people that's like, the people that didn't have the bread, the families that didn't have the bread, still going. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. But it's like, because you got to think, like, even coming to America, it's like translating those Liberian dollars to U.S. dollars. You had to be stacked Liberian dollars wise to get to the U.S. For real.
And then
and
actually
make moves.
and actually have a relative that actually stay here, so you can actually find a place to stay.
Exactly.
And then you don't know how their mindset is and how their life is living and everything. You know how Liberians can get, bro. Be like they can't stay in the house. As soon as one argument, you're ready to kick people out, man. It's just like it's like I know even like for my auntie and my mom especially had it pretty rough too. Even my dad also trying to transition to the States and everything. The community. You're not too close to the Liberian community as a whole, are you?
My family is very heavily involved. You know what I mean? Like my grandpa was the ambassador of Liberia. You know what I mean? So it's like,
like in Charlotte wise, that's what I mean.
Yeah, Charlotte wise, they still like my grandma's funeral got plugged in. They brought awards for her of things that she was involved in and all types of things like. And I think like my family is still like it's heavily invested. That's why it's like I wear Liberia on my back regardless, because it's like. My bloodline wise, like who I am, I might have been raised in Charlotte, raised in the American lifestyle, but I still realize like even around American streets and around whatever, I still move different than a whole lot of dudes that was just born in America. Even because I think it's a different situation being first generation Americans, because it's like what I learned in my household wise, or like what I was more taught to value and certain things, it would combat my mind and boggle my mind to what I was walking out on the streets and then getting that perspective. Like it was just way different, because it's like, okay, at home I'm getting told this lifestyle, this is what I should do, this is what I should do. But then it's like, okay, but we here though, and it's like it's difficult because it's also like them being first generation getting to America, me being born in America. It's like, I know how things work a little bit different, because I'm getting a whole different experience, because I'm raised on these grounds. I'm raised around what I'm seeing and what I'm learning for, and it's like the American culture was way different from things that I was doing. You feel me? Like, or even certain things like with like shoes and stuff like that. I was never a big shoe person. I did not know about shoes, bro. I did not know about shoes, clothing lines, no brand names. I didn't know about none of that till fairly middle school. Middle school, I started getting my bread and doing that shit, like being like, okay, fuck it, I'm finna get this. And then I'm seeing a different reaction to people like, oh, you got these shoes? Oh, you got this technology? Oh, you got this watch? You got this phone? You got this shit? And it was like Americans like getting off to that type of stuff. But I wasn't used to that. I was just used to cold hard conversations, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Unc might pull up and it's like, I'm sitting here playing chess at 8. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing chess with my uncle. Apparently that's not an average experience. Not everybody is just sitting at a young age just playing chess with their uncle or certain things like that. It's just not what I would say American culture is with all the time.
Kind of in tune with, and it's like, yeah, it's like it's so different because it's like you realize at a young age that you're not like everybody else. To an extent, not saying that you're not like them, but it's like understanding like we're all still human at the same time. But like a lot of like their values and your values is always going to be different and everything. You know, you realize that a lot of things are just very different. You know, one of the craziest culture shocks growing up, I thought cornbread was just a Liberian dish. Whole time, yeah. I told my friend about cornbread.
Rice bread.
Yeah,
rice bread is a Liberian dish.
Yeah, that's a dish. But cornbread, I didn't know. I thought it was just predominantly just an African thing. But then it's like, then when I started talking about it, like when one of my Black American friends in elementary school was like, yeah, we had cornbread too. And I'm like, that's why I feel like the connection. Okay, wait, they were sending Black people back to Africa, and they were building houses like Louisiana, Southern houses in Liberia. So we are like a little America in a sense. So it's not just like, okay, we are in America at the same time, but there's still American roots even back in Liberia.
Flag, it was the fact that we was the first freed. That land was the first freed, if you will. You know, where a Black civilization could make shake, and that's exactly what Liberians did. Made it shake, and had while other generations may have been enslaved and moving in a different certain way, Liberians was building a nation.
Yeah, well, you know actually, mostly it was Black slaves that came back to rebuild the nation and everything.
But that's what I'm saying. But I mean, at that point, it wasn't slaves. They're Liberian. Like we're Liberian. You know what I'm saying? Like nation, like wise, they built a nation. But it's like they're Liberians because there's a difference. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we not slaves. We were just enslaved. We were people. We are generations and a whole group of people that got enslaved. But we're not slaves. You know what I'm saying? And it's like where religions and books try to mess things up. I think even like the Indian culture, where like at the time they believed that darker skin just meant slave. Like that was just that was a worldwide thing where it was just like apparently like even trying to play with religion like that. Cause it's like religion and spirituality is like they're there, but they're not the same still. Because a religion is like, it's like years of data being calculated for a belief system of saying like trying to clarify what spirituality is, trying to clarify what that higher source is. That's what religion is to me. Yeah. I don't really like, because it's like all the book is just rule. It feels like laws still too, because it feels like I feel like with religion comes the same type of shit as like nationalities. It's a culture. There's certain shit that Catholics do that may be different than the Baptists. There's certain shit that Baptist folk that do that's gonna be different than Jewish people or the Arab, whoever. And it's like, that's not, I would say like learning like that part, it like kind of just, it made me take things a little easier to see like what do I need? Who is my soul? Because it's like, yeah, being enslaved, all that kind of stuff. And then on top of that, coming from a place where it's like, okay, Liberia got moved out. I learned from Liberians, but then getting to America, it was still just very late on the enslaved. Because, especially the South, there's still illiterate people walking about day. Like, you're free to read. You can read if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get your arm and your foot chopped off no more. But it's like
the education system is shit. And it's just like sometimes it'd be like, what's even the point? And that's what's saddest thing about even with the Black community too. It's like, to be intelligent and to be so confident in yourself. It's just like they pretty much not synthetically, pretty much symbiotically attach intelligence with being white. And it's like you can't even speak well without it be like, oh yeah, it's like you sound white. And it's very heartbreaking, like how it's just like the notions of just blackness altogether, how we're not even we have such a low opinion of each other, but just like how it's like it's seen as like uncool or just to even be, even more than yourselves and everything. And it's just like it even stretches even in not even in Liberia to a certain degree, how we're so quick to be at each other's throat and everything. We had to go through two civil wars back to back over just stuff that people could have just, dead ass just probably
Over
could have
food.
not just food and
People was murking each other over rice.
Yeah, man.
Over rice, a staple food. That's like you can go in American, economic system now. You can go, get it for $1. Go get you a bag of rice. Get you a big ass bag of rice for nothing more than $10. But it's like there was people that like once again the earth produces the food. People with rice plantations, all that stuff. Like people getting murked over rice.
It's not just being
That's a
murked over
different
rice.
experience,
It started way even further than that
Oh,
because
for
like when
sure.
a lot of like the American slaves came to Liberia to like create Liberia or establish it, a lot of them were carrying the same ideologies of thinking, okay, they thought they were more civilized or they thought that they were more superior because
Like one person.
yeah, not just
to
one
take over.
person, just like the American slave thought they were more superior because the ideology carried from slavery, thinking, okay, they're much lighter, they're much brighter,
Okay.
so there must be more superior and everything, and are more civilized, and that's what fucked a lot of shit up. Because if they went in with the mindset like, okay, we're reconnecting with our brothers, where we can show them another side of living, we can be able to build a republic. Maybe we can stretch this a lot further, where it's not just a country. Maybe this could be like not like an empire in a sense, but we can stretch like the whole ideologies of democracy and stuff of that nature, and keep it pushing type stuff. Liberia could have been that everlasting light, like how Ghana is now. Liberia, that should have been Liberia's spot. Like where Nigeria is now, we should have been like that. But because because we're so at each other, so we don't give people a chance to really step in positions of power. It was mostly just American slaves and their descendants for years and years and years and generations until it was like they just couldn't take it anymore. And that's when Samuel Doe became like the first, elected. Was he elected? Well, he was the first he was the first official that was actually native born, like those like descended from native born
Those
folk.
people like coming for like Nigeria and stuff to like for the government.
No. Liberia, just being in the government power, he actually had to run a coup to actually get into that position. But it's just like it was just a whole lot of messed up stuff, man. It's really, really messed up, man. Samuel Doe actually, he actually ate my second cousin, Thomas Kompa. He's my second cousin, and he was running a coup on Samuel Doe and everything, and they caught him and everything, and they ate him, dude. And it's very sad, but it's messed up. That's just what happened. And I met his daughter, Veronica Doe. I mean, who knew that our relatives all we had this history against each other? I didn't even know. I was just a kid and everything, just saying how we're just talking. Could you imagine just a conversation? I didn't even know like such atrocities even happen, And I feel like, and honestly, regardless of what happened, I feel like I wish. On one hand, you wish things could just get past. We could just kind of forget the past and keep it going, But the scars are gonna linger. But at least if we can just be healed as a people, to just let it go, to really focus on just see each other as just each other, our brothers and sisters, and then maybe we can go forward in life. But it was just messed up like that, man. But it's just like, yeah, Thomas Kompa, we're actually mad close related wise. Like I'm related to him. He's my second cousin. So that's like my grandmother's eldest sister's first son. So not even far. Not far from branch wise. I mean, we're pretty close on that sense, And it's his face is on postage stamps in Liberia and shit. So it's really just to know how important he was. That's just what it was, man. But it's really sad. Just
I'm
the
about to say
damages.
all of them because I was about to say like even Liberian like African money different. Like it's different seeing black folk on money.
Yeah.
It's way different seeing black folk on money, and I feel like even America pulled that bullshit, that stunt. They're talking about we're gonna put Harriet Tubman on the dub. Still never did that. It wasn't gonna take long to print out. You print out money all the time, but it was just like even Harriet Tubman to like as like what she represented and stuff like that. Like I just think that getting here in America now, people like I think there's a whole shift. Like, you know, where black people just start calling each other kings and queen and all this stuff, which is still like it was better because it was like more like, okay, good. Like now we're not thinking of yourselves as like we only were enslaved. Because once again, I just want to emphasize that enslaved. We were enslaved. Okay, cool. But it was like not carrying around the mentality of like, okay, my genetics is that of a slave. No. Because it's like there is so much things that we're smarter in. And it could be the dude, it could be a dude that talks hella ebonics, could be a genius and really be able to run a business better than some, you know, some white man that talk proper or whatever. Because that's the issue. Like in America, we took it as like, okay, you speak fluent, clear English, you must be intelligent. And you can read, okay, that's what makes you smart. But it's like we had languages before. We had dialect already. We got certain things to speak. And not only that, that's more advanced than English language, if you will. Because English language, you see like even Hispanics may like think English is way harder because of the fact that it's like, one, I think the English language is one, still something that is growing still. Like the English language is still growing. There's so many words that could mean the same thing and mean the same shit, but there's just different words for it. Whereas like other cultures is more in languages, it's just like this is that simple speak. Sometimes even just like the way that it sounds in English, it sounds butchered, but it's like it's just a very simple statement. Which I also think like is funny because I feel like it plays on like how I think more in American culture, there's so many words to beat around the bush with. Where it's like you like sometimes like you just don't know people that you're direct, like you're having a direct conversation with, compared to like you see like other people, other ethnicities speaking other language. They're very direct, very straight to the point, very simple. And it's like, okay, you said I need to do this to do this. Okay, do it. And it's done. But like an American thing with the English language, it's just like, there's so much like more like lies and like extents to go to because it's just like there's words changing every day, bruh. And it's like the dialect, as I said, like they just do too much to me, on me. For real.
And that's the craziest thing about like languages in Africa, man. There's three groups. I think our language is descended from the Ma language group and everything. So it's like a lot of it's kind of how Latin is, where it's like, okay, well, French is like it's all branched. Okay, French, Spanish, Portuguese, English. There's roots there to
Because the
Latin.
Brazilian's black, South America's black, Dominican's black.
Yeah, no, those two.
That's
those
the
two.
Latina version of us.
Yeah, and for real,
Africans, for real.
yeah, but for real, and there was more slaves sent to Brazil than there was America.
Hell
Actually
yeah.
made it there. Actually, not a lot of people know that and everything. But it's just not even that. Even the term slave isn't even like based on like just us. It was actually rooted from Slavic people because they were the ones that were enslaved. A lot
The Nordic
earlier.
Vikings.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
the
that,
Nordic people. Yeah, because that's all Vikings do.
Exactly. It started off with the Vikings doing their own folk like that, which I do feel like that's why some white women got their own resentment too and want to fuck on a black man or any other man that's not. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna have that attraction too because it's just like now they don't seen us. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the difference too. Like even we speaking about I'm thinking about like indigo children, all that type of stuff nowadays. Cause it's like, okay, now after all that, which is just like, you know, sometimes when you say like lessons and blessings, I think during that time of enslavement, big lesson. And not only that for us, where it's like that shit's not going again. That shit's just not happening because we don't see it. His history for a reason. We don't see it. That shit's not going.
I mean, it might happen differently. You know, it don't gotta be other. It don't have. I mean, there's more sex trafficking than ever. One, there's always gonna be there could be a new drug that can knock you out for days, and then all vulnerable. It doesn't take a whole lot to put someone in a vulnerable state. Man, we're asleep for like 1/3 a whole day. Just letting you know, just some realistic shit. It ain't even got to be human beings. How do you know it's like people in space and everything, or like aliens? Like, I mean, not even on some like heavy with the aliens type shit, but it's just like the universe is so damn vast. It's like, how do you know the word? We can't be like that one sitting vulnerable type planet and everything, and someone could just pull up and just take whatever resource they want, all types of technologies, and just enslave us if they wanted to. Like, what could really stop that?
But in so okay, but
Like that, the whole when it comes to enslaving people, it comes to a matter of technology. Like the Americans, they had boats, they had a whole system set up, and had guns, and they had boats, and they had boats. They had to carry us somewhere. They had a whole system
like
set
big
up.
boats, like ships.
Ships.
They came with ships,
Big old ships.
Yeah, that was a ship shit. But like, and that was fact. Like that was like finding transportation on across the ocean. Cars way past cause but ship was the car at that time, had access to it, which that's the part where I'm saying like, yes, and that's why I emphasize enslaving though. Nobody is slaves. People get enslaved, and then on top of that is the fact that during that enslavement, once again, lesson and blessing, because it's like the same thing. You remember when Kanye made that statement when he was like, slavery was a choice.
Yes, I remember.
I
knew what he meant, but it was just
listen.
like,
So I
it was just how he went about it.
Yes, how he went about it was too straightforward because people were too simple-minded to even have people not used to having an open mind to sit and let something marinate and like figure out, okay, what is you talking about? Even when he came back out, it was what kind of I sat and think, because at first I thought like, yeah, you off, bro. But then I sat and thought about it, I was like, oh, I see what he mean. And a tip where it's like, bro, we have so many ancestors that literally threw their life over in the middle of the ocean and said, you know what, you're not gonna be able to use me for work. You're not gonna be able to use my human body. You're not gonna be able to use the body that I have control over and I as a tool. I'm just exactly deuces. I'm gone. You know what I'm saying?
Horrible things too.
Exactly, and you know what I'm saying. And you're sitting here dropping in the bottle. You think about the middle of the ocean in itself is a whole nother world. Because that's the thing. Like you think of how much water is covered in this earth, and thinking about the fact where it's like how deep the actual ocean go, where they was going. Like your body is floating, making over whatever remains. That's fucking deep. So it's like to sit there and put that over there and say like, no, I'm just not. Boom, deuces. Then on top of that, people that was enslaved that arrived and it began like, you know what? I'm not gonna stay here. I'm gonna like figure out a way to get the fuck. You know what I'm saying? People that even had multiple attempts, may have even got caught up, tried again.
Escaped to Canada.
You know what I'm saying?
Escaped to Mexico.
So many options. And it's to say that it's like that was still an option. Which makes it a choice in that way because it was always an option. And then you think of like things like the Uncle Tom or something where it's like somebody that, yes, he is like that person has now become a slave. They're not enslaved. They've now become a slave in the tip where it's like they want to help act that out. You know what I'm saying? They believe in a master. They're like, no, this is my master. So I'm going to do this, and don't know no better.
And they try to brainwash people. They're breaking people down psychologically.
Have you read the book Brainwash?
No, but I have watched a little feature film called Uncle Tom's Cabin. Have you seen?
Okay, no, I haven't seen that.
So you don't even know like the whole terminology of Uncle Tom, although it's like derogatory.
Brainwashed. I read about it. I read through that. But that was about to say book Tom Burrow Brainwashed. Literally walks you through everything that just happened for these past 300 years. Because that's the thing. Like when we arrive here, we realize like, dang, this is not. You know, it's not as far because the effects lasted way longer. And that's the part where I said, like, people not knowing, like, okay, yeah, before it was not an option to learn to read, try to read, learn the language, whatever. Now you can do that by your free will. But people still choose not to do it because generations that it's like, that's just was not important to them. You know,
Or just like there was one niche I know, like how like a lot of black mothers, like when they ask about their kids and everything, are like, oh yeah, this kid is trouble and everything. That's usually the first thing they usually lead in with. That's actually in connection with a lot of the trauma for a lot of black mothers back then, on the plantations, who are feared that their children will be sold off, so they would just start talking bad about their kids being like not no good, so they wouldn't be bought and things like that and sold off. And it's just really sad because when you think about all the emotional trauma that has to come with that, it wasn't just physical abuse that we had to endure as a people. It was emotional abuse, sexual abuse for both sides. Keep in mind, not just one. And it's just all types of nonsensical bullshit. And it's just like, wow, we really had to go through all that and we're still here and everything. And it's not trying to pose about like who's more superior or who's this, but it's like, the basis of humanity starts in Africa for a reason and everything.
I think it's even a hate thing where like, okay, like I feel like when they put the law, like they try to make it a hate thing when it was like, if this baby got any black in him, it's black. It's a black baby. And it's like, yeah, because physically, everything that we touch, yeah, it's going to come out black. It's going to come out it's going to come out with some different hair. It's going to come out mostly us because of the fact that it's like, okay, you saying that, but it just sound real hater energy. Like the fact that it's like, it don't matter. A white man or a white woman could have sex with a black man or a black woman, and it's like that baby's still going to be black. It's still gonna come out with tone. Like there's never been no baby that's honestly it's been more because it's crazy because even two dark skins can make a light skinned baby. Yeah. Even things like that because of generation things. Like generation things.
Even a black woman could give birth to a white person, but it will be like pigmentation type thing,
Yeah,
like you seen like about like I don't know if you heard about like twins and everything. One was born black, one was born white. It's like their moms was black, but their dad was white.
Yeah,
everything.
But I'm saying, they even produce two, like that's two separate beings. Like you just produce two separate like cell organizations. That's wild. And so it's just like things like that. It's like, yeah, that's just what it is. You feel me? Like you don't see no kid coming out. It don't matter. I can have sex with how many, get this white woman pregnant. Child's not. It means gonna have blonde hair though. Most likely. You know what I'm saying? But even albino people being black, like you whole lot of albino in Africa, all that you're black though. You could be clear as white, like you white, yes, your skin is pale white, but you're black at the same time, like clearly.
And black women still carry the Eve mitochondrial gene, so all human characteristics are carried through the black woman and everything. So it's like Yeah, sex trafficking is a crazy thing.
Organ harvesting.
That is also mad. It's so crazy how it's very crazy just the kind of world we're living in for real, because we really had to protect our sisters for real. And that's why remember when we were talking at the table. I'm talking about what? You want to pause?
No. Oh yeah, you can.
Hold on. Yeah, so as we were saying, we're talking about the whole sex trafficking thing and everything. It's crazy how our sisters have to endure. They're mostly the main targets and everything because they're the least sought out for and things of that nature and everything. But it's just it's crazy just how prevalent it is even nowadays. I know when we were talking earlier about being an empath, and I were just always just there, just kind of assist whomever, however, and everything. There was one time I think this girl got into an argument with her moms. I don't know if she's hearing this and everything, but I ain't gonna reveal her name. But she got into an argument with her moms that got really hectic and everything. She was just willing to talk to anybody. I didn't even know her from a can of paint or nothing. I just know her off Instagram and everything through this other girl. And I think I just followed her not too long ago. She just reached out to me. I don't know why out of everybody she got hella followers, but for me it was just me. I don't know if I was the only one, but I feel like I was the main one that responded. I'm like, yeah, sure, I can come pick you up, no problem. She was staying on the east, way around, I think around North Lake area. Actually, not even on the east, it's way around North Lake area. So I had to drive a bit of a jug and everything. But it's in the rain a little bit too. So it was trying to drizzle.
That's empath energy for real, because it don't be feeling like nothing. You I'm on the way. I don't feel like nothing.
And it's I could be set up too and everything. This danger on both ends and everything. I could be a sex trafficker and everything, or she could be someone trying to beat me in my head and kidnap me and everything. So it's a dangerous on. It's crazy how that's dangerous on both ends. But I just picked her up and everything. I just okay, how's everything going great? It's like we just got into a bit of a fight. It's like okay, well my name's this and everything. That's why I met her. It's like blah blah blah. I gave her a little place to stay at my grandpa's house because he was staying in Hidden Valley and everything. My grandpa was bad cool and everything. I wouldn't want to bring a girl random girl my mom's crib and everything that should be
it gotta be a girl for a special one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to get you put females in older females there. This is always some other crazy shit and everything. And she's a Pisces, so it's I'm not trying to the Pisces, but it's just, you know how they can be. And so it's just but my grandfather's been here since the 80s, and he's dated a bunch of black American women. So it's just so he just has that natural.
He moved here with a wife. He moved here by himself.
No, he didn't come here with the wife. No, he was a bachelor.
That's different. I was about to say that's something.
Grandpa gave no fucks. I'm telling you, he had a reputation. I have multiple aunts and uncles with different parents and everything, with different moms and stuff like that. When I tell you, bro, the stories about my grandfather having two women at the same parties, different tables.
But that's
he's a Scorpio too, so that's probably another reason why.
My mood is a Scorpio. I ain't gonna cap. But look, this is the thing, though. I think that what it is too. I think that's a cultural thing, man. Because for black men, it just feel bro, it's just. The monogamy thing was a more
it was a way to emasculate us.
Yeah, but I also because it was just how we was moving before was just it just don't feel natural. And even for our women, it's they more once again they was strongly affected by Eurocentric ideas and stuff like that. Yeah, because strongly affected.
Yeah, because they felt if you had to stick with one person and everything, or one man or whatever, it's or monogamous. It's okay, that means you're that's what you're made for. It's we're not naturally monogamous. Which nobody's except if you're a penguin or something like that. Yeah. People are just some people are poly whatever polymorph. Some people are monogamous. Yeah. Some species.
I'm definitely I started now because. Being 21, being early 20s, you know what I'm saying? I'm figuring out my relationship standpoint, all that kind of stuff like that. It's yes, it's the, right, women, all that kind of stuff, you bond, but the monogamous feeling is more of okay, this is nice, but you think about it, where it comes from, that's more of it's more of a royalty standpoint. Yeah. And royalty. Also keeping the bloodline in line and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, without being too much fights and everything. Yeah. Exactly. It would actually work best for polygamy when you're having an empire. But we can talk more about this later. I know it's definitely something. But back on with my friend. But back on my friend though, bringing her to the house and I want to steer one too far away. Then we lose train of thought. We can definitely talk about polygamy. I spoke about polygamy a lot on this podcast. But anyway, it's just but just stuff like that. I just brought it to my grandfather's house. My grandpa's just mad cool because that's why I only brought how he was what he was in the 80s. So it's just it's pretty safe. Even she was kind of a little bit concerned. It was yo, is your grandfather, is he okay? Is he all right in the head? Because she was a fine. She's fine. She's fine as hell. I'm gonna just say that she knows she's fine. I know she's fine. No. No, the old girl I brought to the house and everything, we ain't really do anything. I wasn't trying to be on some stuff she had just been through a traumatic experience, but it's just stuff like that and everything. To know it's just that they have to live in constant fear all the time because they also been through a whole lot of shit and everything up to that point anyway. And so it's just but it's just to know that she even took a chance even with me and everything. I'm actually proud to even know it's just okay, I wasn't some creep person that was gonna lure her to do some weird shit. No, I just want to be just look out for people because just because it's I've been down bad too a whole lot at points too. Yeah, man. And it's just and it's just she started venting out to me all sorts of things that happened to her. She was growing up and things like that. I'm damn, such a beautiful girl. You've been through some shit like that. And it's just we really got to do better, man. As black men for sure, man. It's there should be no reason why up to 60, which is probably even just all the ones that actually been spoken on 60% of a lot of black women have already been sexually assaulted before they even reach the age of 18, my guy. And it's even worse in Liberia. And it's just and that's all for that's actually been accounted for. We don't know about all those that haven't been accounted for. There's probably add an extra 15%. Well, that's 75%. That's 3/4 already.
Bro, and I think even in Reiki, Bro, even in Reiki, like one of the like first things like one of my Reiki teachers taught me, just speaking on the fact where it's like it's always a permission thing. So like if I'm doing Reiki on a specific person, and it's like I ask before because there's no touch Reiki and there's touch Reiki. So first it's like, okay, which one do you want, or do you want both? Like what's that part first, right? Then it's a thing of like, okay, let's say they do agree to touch Reiki, right? Um, During that thing, it's all once again all about consent. How I feel like sexual life should be, same thing. All about consent, because it's like sometimes you might touch somebody in a place that's traumatic, and we don't realize that that's what it is. Like it's affecting them. You know what I'm saying? Like every time, like if they have any feeling on in there, like it could be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So it's a thing where it's like you ask before you touch, like, okay, do you mind if I touch here? Okay, and like even like doing certain Reiki sessions, it's funny because it's like not funny in that way, but like funny in the way of like knowledge, like checking validation. You would touch somebody in a certain spot, and it's like they shake for a second, like they said okay, they said all right, but it's like they like their body will like lock up for a little bit, but then as I continue on, you start to like see them like release and like chill out for a second, and like that area is a little different, and they feel that too, and it feel like a different experience because it's like, damn, you sometimes the person don't even know, like they're like, whoa, like this is why I did this, or like why some people be like you might even slip by their elbow and they turn around so goddamn why are you touching me, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like molestation and things like that goes deep, bro. Even things with like, especially like throat chakra, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like, even as a child, I went through my own experiences, and it's like I learned, and I was like, okay, cool. Like this is what this was. This is what's going on. I'm going. You know what I'm saying? This is how I'm gonna move. You feel me? And like growing from that, like seeing like, okay, it's healed. It's like you realize like, oh no, this shit just be happening, and it's like with them type of stuff, it's like as a person, it's one of the moments of their life you don't feel like you have any control over yourself. You know what I'm saying? But like healing from it, it's like more of like then you have like complete control of yourself because you know what I'm saying? It's a difference. Like what it means to be taken advantage of. You know what it means to be in this man. Yeah, that whole part, bro.
And it's crazy how it's just like
Really.
a lot of these folks are just kind of drawn to empaths in general and everything. It's just like I always strive to just be like, just having like a vibe that's more comfortable, especially with our sisters and everything, because it's just like, you know, for her to even go through a lot of that shit and everything, and then like you see like a lot of these people on Instagram, like their lives is just flashing. You wouldn't even think that anything is going wrong in their lives. Like you'd be surprised and everything, but it's like I just always try to treat people with comfort and kindness, and some people kind of take advantage of it, not gonna lie, and everything, and some people just they take it for what it is and they just move on about their lives and so on. And I'm at least proud of the fact that it's like at least she's actually in a little bit of a better place right now and everything. Life just kind of moves on. Yeah, she'll be a little bit of shake here and there, but it's just like like she's good, and that's all that matters and everything. So it's just like I had her on live and everything, watching the fights and everything. So everything. She was like, oh snap. Like through live, just like, because it's like she be on live all the time, and I just post her just like, okay, yo, check this out and everything. And like, I think she saw like the fight with Hercules and Debo and everything. It was like, oh snap. So, but it's just like it was pretty wild. But it's just stuff like that and everything. It's crazy that like a lot of the guy friends she had, she's kind of falling out with them on one of the main reasons why, because they kept like pushing up on her and everything. It's like on some crazy shit, and it's just
and
like,
what's
like
crazy, bro? Like real talk. Okay, so let's speak about the
friends
male
with
and the female.
females.
Hey, but that's the thing. I believe it to an extent, cause it's like deeper than that. Cause it's still the relationship that you own with. You know what I mean? Like my sister is like my twin. She feel like my best friend. Feel like my twin. Feel like and that's my sister. She's a girl, but we can relate all day. Like have conversations, spill out shit, talk this shit, talk about shit, and it's like
Y'all grow up the same. That's how me and my brother are. It's just
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
That's
just
how
like,
that go. But I feel like, it taught me things earlier too, with just even just understanding women on the tip more, one, and then two, like realizing like, damn, like when you are closed minded as a man, it kills your like it definitely won't help with women. Even if the woman is closed minded, wherever she's at, it's like it's not even worth it seeing every girl as reproduce, and all this shit, because you realize like, okay, yeah, this girl could be like this, but you don't understand like this is a whole human being. Like they're bringing like years and years of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like even like you said with Shawty, it talked to you about things, opened up about certain things. Whereas like women sometimes they really have breakthroughs like that for real. Like they might not even know if some shit come up, whatever, blah blah blah. And they need somebody to talk to. They need somebody that, you know what I'm saying, they can
to feel
find.
vulnerable with. And it's just like,
And on top of that,
you don't even realize you're the type that's actually kind of healing them in a sense, because but it's all about sometimes, even with sometimes when you're trying to heal yourself, you got to heal through others also, and that's just kind of comes with being an empath. I seek my healing through the healing of others. And everything. That's how I kind of work through my music too. I speak a lot about mental health. I know you even like the song "Hold It Together" that touched you the whole together,
man.
to hold it together and everything. You related to that song a whole lot. That's the kind of effects I want in regards. That's why I want to always try to get better. What I can is, the one hand is just like I'm trying to really, rebuild myself, rebuild my confidence in myself at the same time, and trying to express myself and heal things at the same time. I just want my music to have that same effect, and I got a whole lot to work on when it comes to stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, man. Well, those sisters, it's an issue, and it's like even with the Black community as a whole and everything. I feel like we're so shattered. A lot of this because we have a lack of community when it comes to stuff like that. Like we like being in the community, we like being in stuff like the church and stuff like that. But I always
it's sometimes too much.
I feel like it's too much. Like we try
we're trying to be this. Like I feel like there's an image set out for what the community even is, and that's what I got aggravated about. Where I was like, for me personally, like I was always like, as I said, all environment, I can relate with everybody. I'm cooling, whatever. But the imagery of saying like, okay, yeah, like to be Black, okay, rock J's, put this specific jean on or this specific pants on.
Fuck this many amount of bitches.
Rock this. These are the brands. These are the brands that you wear. If it's not this, like you're different types of Black wearing different types of brands. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, he got on Gucci, he got on Balmain, he got on, like it be niggas with no dollar in their pocket with an $800 belt. You ain't have a goddamn dollar. You spent all your bread last week on that shit, which once again shows you don't got no goddamn bills to pay. You don't got shit to pay for anyway. And you sit here aiming for like, okay, I'm gonna go get this belt. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do this. And it's shit that's like that we say makes you.
Who the hell are you trying to?
That's what I'm saying. It like that we feel like it's making us a top of the line type Black. Like it's like I'm a top of the line Black person. Like, do you see what I'm wearing? Do you see what I'm wearing? And that's the part that got goofy to me as fuck. And it was always goofy to me. Sagging was goofy to me. All that shit. Was shit that I never did. Yeah. Cause like it's funny because it's like folk that I went to school with, yeah, y'all know whoever the fuck it is, but like goddamn middle school, whatever, folk that I went to school with, they see me with my pant. I got my pant put up to my waist. I got a belt on, all that shit. Niggas used to clown me off of that. Like, damn nigga, why your pants so high? I don't give a fuck. My pants is on me. I said that shit. Yeah, it's like, bro, I don't want to see your ass. And on top of that, it'll be awkward because it's like, bro, the draws, like especially they be wearing draws that's like,
and when you know the origins of it too, in prison and everything, like once you actually educate
even the
yourself
fact where slavery during the time where it's not no belts, you wearing a knapsack pants that's just don't fit you. It's just fucking fabric to put on your ass and put on your legs. It's fabric. It's some knapsack that probably your auntie or whoever, somebody else's auntie knitted and made for you. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like can't fit for everybody, but it's gonna fit some. Use a rope to tie that mug. But it's like that shit was just like shit like that was shit that's like some people fell victim to it and jumped into it. Cause I feel like even the white kids that you don't know about no goddamn sagging. You don't know about no sagging until you was around Black folk.
Not really.
Same with Hispanics. You don't know about no goddamn sagging until you was around Black folk. because that was our choice. And that's the part where it's like, also, it's like, it's crazy because it's like, we lead so much of culture, but then it's like we clowned on for the things that we was still hooked on doing due to like the effects of what we had to go through in that sense. And I'm not saying that by the bloodline, genetically, what we had to go through. And you know what I'm saying? Now it's a point where I think it's changing a little bit because it's like even in public, I don't see as much people sagging as I used to. Which things like that makes me happy.
Yeah, because joggers pants became like the go-to style now and everything.
Things like that of that sort, which I'm like, yes, please. Because it's like, it be the most homophobic, as in, yes, scared of homophobia, because that's the true thing with even black males. I feel like we be scared to say certain shit because we scared to be deemed as gay. Like, I feel like I don't give a fuck. Now, like, especially as a person, how loving I am, it's like, bruh, if the homie looking handsome, I'm gonna tell the nigga the homie looking bruh, you look handsome today, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you come out dress up, you Chris, your intention was like, bruh, you look handsome today.
Or just say you just looking swaggy or something like that. Okay,
but I mean, but you see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know, saying some other shit, then it's like, no, uplift my, no, brother, you look handsome. What, if it come from a bitch, it's gonna feel different, bruh? Because it ain't coming from, because I don't got a pussy between my legs, bruh. Because it's like, I'm not looking to sexually get with it. No, hell no. But it's the fact that, bruh, I can feel free to say, nigga, you look handsome.
Not gonna lie.
You know what I'm saying?
If a bitch pulled up and say like, hey, yo, you look good. It's like, I feel like that would make my whole week. Not even gonna lie if a bitch like pulled up.
Because it be true. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, bruh, it be some weird shit where it's like, we easier to hate on each other than love on each other, bro. And that's what pissed me off, bro. Because of the fact where it's like, you know what I'm saying? You would rather, like, and I get it, roasting can be endearing, all that stuff, cool. But I feel like we do certain shit like that too much, where it's like, nah, let's just be chilling, honest for one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just be okay with, like, even having that part of your heart open to be like, to see that in your homie. And not goddamn sit there, you trying to roast this nigga, you trying to big up this nigga all the time. Like, it ain't nothing about that.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? That shit.
It could be like that, man. I feel like we're very, very competitive with each other, man. Like crazy competitive, man. I know. I was like, I bring it up like how high school was crazy, man. You know, like I was really starting to do the whole rap thing. You know, there's like a year in and stuff. So I was writing. I had a whole lot of composition books just filled up with a bunch of poems and poetries and stuff. You know, beginning with the shit and everything. There was like people just hating on me and shit just because of that. Just how I'm living. I'm confident. I'm talking to people. All types of girls. I didn't care. I just talked to whoever because I just left a really shitty situation in middle school where it's like it's just like I felt like I had to stand so still just so people wouldn't like point and try to like find things to like shit on and everything and like it will be so bad and everything. But then it's just like now I'm just read this new environment and everything. I can be freer. I can be me again, you know. And it's just like
you said what you say.
Yeah.
What was that key word?
Me again.
No, before that. You say the F word.
Free. Yeah.
But that's what that's what I'm saying what motherfuckers feared. Like in a sense where I'm saying that's the part I said, even the mentality where it goes in once again. Like it became this weird thing where it's like, I have to do this so my people can know I'm black. What? And so it's like, you know, people like you that was in that story, cause I, you know, saying tip and shit. But like the way you come up, specifically speaking, like what you just spoke on, where you like, okay, you had your poetry already, like you was writing all kind of stuff. Imagine the influence that would took if niggas was looking at that like, damn, bruh, you sitting here vulnerable in that pad, and you sharing this with me, and like people took it as different and actually like sat there and listened to your work rather than being youngins, because at that time motherfuckers young and they see something like that, they don't understand it from you, but they're more like just thinking. Like how I just went back, the homophobia thing, you scared of anything like you, I like to me now, I think homophobia is a thing of being scared of seeming even gay. I think like that's the definition I made up for myself.
I don't even think it's
because
like,
how some of them folk act.
I don't think it's really just that. I feel like especially with black, because keep in mind like there's been there's more of a psychological basis to that and trauma with that too. Same like how like with
Buck,
emotional, yeah, buck breaking.
buck
Yeah, you
breaking.
already know I was going with it, but
I
yeah,
was gonna say,
but yeah,
yeah,
basically,
for
but
sure.
yeah, so I feel like that's where a lot of the fear of that even comes from, also.
Mhm.
But it's just like in the sense that like even the bagging we had to stretch back to Africa too. It was seen as just unnatural and everything. Things in nature we try to keep it balanced. That's why I even come like with even protecting masculinity. It comes back to even like doing like like polygamy and stuff like that. But even like no one wants to consider even doing polygamy. Some people, I feel like some females would fuck with it if like you're rich and famous enough. But it's
It
just
don't
like
even, and I don't even think it, bro. And that's the part where I was saying it's not about the image of it's like a real polygamy relationship. Because also polygamy takes energy, polygamy takes time, and every man isn't built for polygamy. That's why it's like also like during them times, like it was like because it's still a thing where I do believe is. And when you say rich, skip the famous, but like
just be
having
really
some
really
bread. Yeah, I was
patient.
about to say having
Akon
some
has
bread.
multiple wives.
Yeah, because it's the fact that he can care for those wives. So it's different because like for women, if they're getting cared for and they have their necessities, they know their position and they understand. Yes, it's not an issue. But it's different if you're struggling and you're juggling women. Cause that's like a more like to me, that's just fucking dating or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't know. But like when you're juggling women and it's like it's actually it takes like it's hard for you to keep up with these women. It's like you're OD because you don't need that many women. You really don't. You may want the many women, whatever, but you really don't need that many women. Because sometimes it may be one woman that you would, and that's the same thing when I think of like Kemet royalty, whoever, Kemet royalty is like, yes, this is the one where it's like this boss lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it was like it's like monogamy and polygamy combined. Because like, okay, yes, this is boss lady, but I got these servants that's like what they do is serve me ass. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It ain't gotta be like that. I mean, you can have
yeah, like
multiple
sometimes
wives, and that's like one wife could be really business savvy, one could be really, really creative, one could be
no,
really, really
I'm saying
spiritual.
even a version of like it's like monogamy, but a twist on polygamy. Where I'm saying like of the bloodline thing, where it's like this is the woman that bears my children, but I'm fucking no. You know what I'm saying? Like off of like the man, because men want to, bro. We want to play, bro.
Yeah, sure, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? Like
But
sometimes,
even with sex,
like,
sex ain't really just all about play and nothing. It's just really just there's also
yeah,
emotional, and spiritual elements to it too, and
yeah,
everything. But it's just at the
exactly.
same time, like with soul connections too, you got to keep in mind. Even when I went to spiritual guide, it's just like
Mm-hmm.
it's not unnecessary for you, like or uncommon for black men to have multiple soul connections throughout their lifetime. There are
Mm-hmm.
women who like even I still got soul ties to this day. I mean, that sometimes they cross my mind and everything. And we don't even have to
Hell yeah,
even we
bro.
don't even gotta
Oh
have
my
sex
god.
really. But it's just like sometimes
Yeah.
they cross your mind and you wonder. It's just like I wonder what she's doing. I wonder what she's thinking right now, and everything
Yeah,
of
that's
that
what I was
nature. And it's just
saying
like
for
it's just
sure.
like and it's just
Yeah.
like sometimes you wonder and like what if we like bumped into each other? What would we say to each other and everything? Who haven't spoken in so long and everything like that. You really just think deep into it. It's just like what's up? What's really up for real? And it's just like it's just like what if you're with the wife and like you still have like these like would you really say like all this thoughts will even go away? And it says automatically just because he was somebody else new. And I'm like, in one hand, yeah, maybe of course, because once you're focused on one person and that's where
Mm-hmm.
you want to build your life, of
Yeah.
course. But at the same token and
Mm-mm.
everything, keep in mind a lot of the soul connections that you've actually created. It's not easy to sever a lot of them. You can't just sever any. Like, well, if it's even a friendship that you even fall out with that friend and everything. Yeah, you want to be like just fuck that person, forget them. But it's just like you're still connected to them through the
Hell
memories
yeah.
that they've provided you, and that's why it hurts so bad. Why you leave like with certain scars on your heart. It never comes from an enemy. It always comes from like a friend and everything. And it's really really sad how that has to be. Even like in Charlotte and everything, bro. Because people really really stab you in the back over like a conversation and everything, just so they can be able to fit in and everything like that. That's why it's like for a lot of the shit even I had to deal with in the past, I'm kind of thankful because it's like, and at the same time, it really really helped me build myself as even being a better friend and even like a better just as a human being, better overall. I always like to hear both sides of like even an argument before I make assumptions. I don't take sides. I don't just listen to shit just because people just tell me something. You gotta hear
That's that
perspectives on both
Aquarian
ends.
energy too.
Maybe it's just Aquarius thing in me. I don't know. I feel like there's other
That's heavy
Aquarius.
Aquarian.
It's probably
I don't know
just
how much
Aquarius.
Aquarius you got in your chart, but
I'm an Aquarius. I have a lot of Aquarius placements
in the
actually,
chart,
like in Neptune and everything a
like I
lot.
feel with
But it's like,
Cancer.
but I do got an Aquarius as my sun and like my moon and my rising is a Libra.
Bruh. Oh yeah, well you got it as your sun and your moon.
Yeah,
That means you're a true Aquarius.
I
And
have
Aquarius are very innovative people. Aquarius have innovation. Aquarius have like
can't help but be
forward
innovative.
thinking in a way, like in their own like forward thinking for themselves that can translate to publicly like being for information because of taking that instance of like both sides and like really like I feel like Aquarius have a good hold and suppression on their emotions for real. But like their emotions affect them heavily as fuck.
It does.
Like it can affect them heavily as for like, but it'd be more of like a time like period. Like they gotta crash into their emotions.
Yeah, we're very detached.
I'm about to say detached is a motherfucker. Oh
we
my
really are
God.
detached.
Fucking
It's really hard to really come to bases like with emotions.
Oh my God.
Because we like to think logically first before we act on emotion. Because it's we see what emotions can do. Emotions can really, with passion, can really push you forward to do anything. But you have to channel it very logically. I would say like it's more like a river and everything like or something like that. You can't just clog it all up and then it overflows and then it just pours into something else. Whereas like you can just channel it very, very calmly and everything. It's just like so it's like everything gets passed through very well. Like so it's just like I like to really think before I act or react with a lot of things. It's like yeah, sure, I like to just kind of be like fun, tea and everything like that. Although it's just like I kind of as I got older, it kind of like lowered down a bit. I'm really trying to get that energy back though, especially because I feel like it really served me a whole lot.
It is something that I
for
think
sure.
Aquarians and air signs can work on. Because my last relationship was Aquarian too, and it's like the air sign. It was like a push and a pull. Because it was like that energy and motion for like water signs and stuff. They're more of course emotional, all that kind of stuff. But like when a water sign can manage their emotions and all kind of stuff, that makes them, expertise in their arena, in that way where it's like, okay, once they have control over their emotions, there's better outcomes. But it's hard to grab that control over emotions because yes, exactly that passion, all that shit. That passion can drive you to do any dumb shit.
Yeah, any dumb shit.
You can sit there and do some shit that's like, fuck, I'm fucking like, I don't committed a murder that's like stupid, you know what I'm saying? Or some shit. Like that's where that energy can lead you to. But it's like Aquarians, they may sit there and think about killing your ass all day, but it's like they're not going, because they're like, thinking it out, But it's like some people just gonna react off that shit.
That's why you don't hear about a whole lot of Aquarius serial killers.
I was about to say, it's all the crazy people's the water signs. Because that's hard. Like your emotions it's a different type of intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a different type of intelligence than intellectual intelligence.
Hey, I'm pretty emotional intelligent by heart.
That's what I'm about to say.
It's intelligence, not just passion.
Yeah, it's a balance thing. And when we speak about elements and zodiacs and all that stuff where it's like naturally what you lean towards still does not mean that you should not work on balancing both. Because I feel like for me, I grew up and always all my life had a very high EQ. I had a very high emotional intelligence. And that's what
you call it EQ?
Yeah, I call it EQ. EQ
Oh,
and
you
IQ.
call it EQ. Okay.
I mean, I think a lot of people do. I think that's like a
I heard of IQ. I never heard of EQ ever.
EQ.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
but
cool.
And that's the thing though. Nowadays, like in this generation, it's become something that's more profound, and it's water signs more speak because, for example, another Cancer is fucking Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's a Cancer.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest because then you think about 50 Cent and okay.
Oh yeah, 50 Cent is too. Yeah, it is like, but how they move, you feel me? Like it's like over the years, they learn, like they more, you can see in their person, like as a whole, they went through shit and then really like conquered themselves in certain situations where it's like, okay, I'm not gonna do this no more. But then you got some crazy ass fucking water signs and shit that's like, yeah, they on serial killer lists and all this other shit. You know what I mean? But it's like these motherfuckers was like publicly crazy, but it's like at the same time they're very like sane, very sane. To be able to handle and do as much as they do, they're very sane.
And to make the best of what their gifts are. That's one thing about cancers that I really like admire is that y'all really make the best out of y'all gifts. Mike Tyson's really just realized he was a fighter over like a dead pigeon when somebody was bullying him, knocked him the hell out and everything, became a boxer, one of the greatest boxers ever. And it's like 50 Cent got shot like 9 times, freaking got back up. Managed to make a song about how like he got shot 9 times. The other guy ain't even got shot and he ain't motherfucking breathing. He's now freaking doing shows and freaking sponsoring vitamin water. Like cancers are built different. Like I'm gonna just say it like that. Y'all really are built different, like for real
But
and everything.
the thing is though, like, bro, like it's like a perception, like it's more of a thing because also it's like cancers also be perceived as like these people. I feel like it's easier to perceive them as like popular, if you will, or like because it'd be a love-hate relationship with people. But like some people love them, some people hate them.
Yeah, that's just every sign. Everybody has a dislike for like my
That's
dislike is definitely Scorpios. I can't. There's too much PTSD, bro. With Scorpios, bro. Oh my god.
No, because that's the thing. Scorpios got that stinger. It'd be the stinger, and then it'd be like the like water like flow where it's like they're just walking with like it's a lot of love. It's a lot of fucking love.
It's a lot of passion. Yeah, and the
That's what I'm saying.
Scorpios,
It's a lot of fucking passion.
but passion
Love,
can be used
bro.
for evil, man.
That's what
It's
I'm saying. They
I think about Scorpio. I think about Anakin Skywalker and shit. Like how he loves like his wife and everybody. She whole ass pregnant and shit. And it's like, oh fuck, you trying to screw me over? I'm trying to save y'all, bitch, and just trying to choking her and shit. That's the most Scorpio thing I can see because it's just like that's one thing I admire about Scorpios. They do have a vibe that's like nobody's ever like a Scorpio. And it's like when they're your friends, they're like the most like friendliest, like they're like your most unforgettable type of friends. They have a charm to them that nobody else like has.
Like the
but they will fuck you up, bro. Like I'm telling you. Like it's not even like just love. It's just like as soon as y'all fall out, it's like they have to fuck you up so bad. All types of shit. They have to just do all types of extra shit. And you don't even have to be on some mean shit. You could just be like, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna entertain this shit no more. And it just go over the top. And then it's just like at this point, it's just like you gotta protect your peace when it comes to
like
Scorpio.
the motherfuckers to like sit at a dinner table and they right next to somebody they got beef with and will talk to the next person past that person to let them know I'm not fucking with you. Like I don't fuck with you. Like for real. Like that's real. I think Scorpios are more honest too with that too though. Cause I think Scorpios are very, very honest. Cause like once that stinger come out, they know who they're aiming for. They're like, no, I don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm straight with them. I don't fuck with you. And then when a person feels the back end of that shit is painful. Cause I think it'd even be painful for the Scorpio. Cause Scorpio be like, damn, like, what made me fall out? Cause I don't think Scorpios really be trying to fall out with people all the time, but they be their own people.
Some Scorpios do fuck shit for just no reason, bro. I really do just be doing fuck shit because they have the power sometimes. And it's just that's what fucks me up sometimes, bro. Cause like some Scorpios really do be cool, bro. And then they be some of your like best friends sometimes. And then they just be like,
yeah, I think I think Sun Scorpios is way different. Cause my like Moon and Scorpio, I think in my Cancer and the Sun, it's double water. But my rising is a Leo, the fire sign.
So it's water, fire sign, and water, and that for me it's just triple wind sign for me.
Triple wind. That's what I'm finna say. You're a true like wind sign. I think that's probably why we can like bounce off ideas so much because there's at the end of the day like all the elements coming together. It's like we need each other at the end of the day, and like each person, like each one teach one type shit.
Yeah, no for real. Back on the whole zodiac spectrum, but it's yeah. I always felt like wind is just kind of the element that just kind of like just fits with me and everything. It's just like like I'm not an overly emotional type person. I feel like I can be over analytical or logical, but it's still creative and innovative at the same time. But at the same time, like I'm no trouble. Like I'm really just like a breeze. Like like to be about me and everything. Like I'm not just the type that just overbear over somebody or make somebody think the same way I would think or whatever. I like to hear like everybody's perspective because I feel like there's always some truth in every perspective, no matter what. But I feel like to be truly ignorant is something that just kind of baffles me. Like you can't be ignorant at all. You got to open your mind to the possibilities.
But see,
And
that's just coming naturally for you though.
Yeah.
Cause I'm about to say, like, everybody is like not with that shit. Like,
Yeah,
especially fire signs. Like fire signs are very direct on what they know and what they do, like how they move.
Yeah.
They're like, if I do this, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like this. And it's hard to open a fire sign's mind. Their mind is not gonna open until they choose to open their own mind. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, okay, cool. But like that air sign that just kind of like blowing with the wind, it's kind of like, it's like being those leaf visuals. Like you can't see wind, you can't see air. The only thing that shows you wind and air is things like leaves. Mm-hmm. Like leaves is a partner of air. Yeah. It shows you that air is there. It shows you that wind is there.
Our presence is mostly shown through other elements, and now pretty much like the earth and everything, and water's through waves and like leaves and stuff like that. Like that's where our presence is kind of shown through others and basically our influence.
Exactly. And so then it's like that's the part where I get into just like at the end of the day, no matter how different we are, we still interconnected, and that's why it's like. I think that even me, you know what I'm saying, when we went to that conversation of like how just like, as I said, like black folk feeling like they have to do certain things so they don't feel like they're not black no more or whatever the fuck. I don't know where that shit came from.
Like I feel like that there's always like black people are kind of put into a box where they have to have a certain criteria in order to be
it's the thing that
black.
we started cutting the box for ourselves. Like we hit the top of the box and was just like, okay, this is the box that we're in. Like that's the part that pissed me off, where it's like not realizing like a lot of shit's being pooched. Like when things such as like wearing specific designer brands became a thing, to me it was like there's nothing.
It's kind of lame because all that money goes to white folk. Yeah.
I'm about to say like
and they probably don't even wear this shit either. And they probably just wear like just regular itty bitty shit. Like,
that was the sad part to me. Like I was like, the same white people could be an investor in the company. That could be whatever in the company. Wears a plain white shirt. Mark Zuckerberg owns Facebook. We spend all day on Facebook. Don't have no stock in it or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? And it's like certain things like in that sort. That's what I'm saying. Like just thinking above that in a sense where it's like, okay, we can do that, but then we're gonna sit here and complain about how broke we are, or why we can't do this, or why shit don't circulate as us, why everybody look like they doing better. And it's like that's not it. Cause same thing as Hispanics, like they sit there, they say bread, everybody stocked up in one house. You telling me they got 15 months in one house, not barely a house, an apartment, 15 in an apartment, and on top of that, the ones that everybody that's of age that can work is contributing to the bills in the house. It's not one person paying for 15 people in the house. It's 14 to 10 people that's in a 15 people household in an apartment paying for one bill. And they doing what they got to do and calling it a day. They not worried about their homie being dripped in fucking ball mane or fucking blue rob. I don't know. All that shit.
It's kind of just goofy, Edison. Don't get me wrong. Like there'd be some nice name brand type stuff like Nikes and stuff. I know that it's not going to the
Gucci, but it's the fact that shit like Gucci hoodies is champs. Mm-hmm. It's champs, and that's what I'm saying. Like I've met white folk that's like honest about that shit. Even the car game, like certain cars, it's like, okay, this could. Like, yeah, you think it's a Scion, but it's really a Toyota. It's just a Toyota engine and certain shit like that. Where it's like, but we're like, I feel like it just pisses me off how easy we are to be fooled. Where it's like, okay, this is why I'm getting it though. Same thing as fucking like watches nowadays and timepieces. Rappers, I feel like brought that out. AP, what has it been? AP, Rolex, and fucking Richie Mill.
Never seen
All
one.
types of watches, but it's like you think of how many
Never
more
seen one
watches.
commercial. Not one commercial about any. Even a Rolls Royce. Never seen a Rolls Royce. Rap video is a Rolls Royce commercial.
Hello.
Basically, it's like, oh, what's he driving? And it's so crazy, man. There's a luxury lifestyle that you want to live so bad. And even that, I'll admit some of it's kind of on my vision board to a certain degree. But I feel like it's just would be more of a testament of just how the struggles I had to endure to even get to that point.
Yeah, to be in something because we don't feel like we deserve the nice stuff sometimes too.
Yeah, but at the same,
you can get it. Yes,
but at the same
very
token,
achievable.
Though, and everything, I feel like just owning things like a house or just some land and everything and stuff. I feel like that's more of a testament because that's stuff I could pass down and stuff of that nature for sure. Like my biggest dream, like I can get like about 200 acres of land and everything. So it's like my family could probably have cookouts, not cookouts, like maybe family reunions
but
for generations. For like maybe 10 generations, we still come back to those same acres and everything and whatnot. That's why I want to be a businessman for sure, because it's just like, if I can really get into business where we can, even in the Liberian community where we can own our own recreational centers. I'm trying to think if I can probably invest in the party bus and everything. I know hopefully my dad could probably help me with that too, because like he literally sends vehicles to Liberia. If he just happens to have like extra like three party buses and everything, if I could put investment on that, insurance and everything, probably get some stuff on the road. Nightlife is probably about to bounce back in full swing once this COVID shit really knocks out the way and everything. Maybe have a good time and everything. It's just stuff like that. That's why I want to go into business school and everything, so I can be able to use the knowledge I pick up from school and everything, grad school. I can apply it to really help service our people to the point where we can actually compete with Vietnamese people, the Koreans, and stuff like that. There should be no reason our people have nothing to like show for in terms of like businesses. Why, like 10, 30, 40, 50 years from now, with all the shit we've endured from civil wars and everything, we really have to work to really elevate and endorse and really invest in in ourselves as a whole. But it's just stuff like that. I know my grandfather first told me when he came to the States and everything, and then it's just like how like they had a cab business and everything. Now everybody were driving cabs and stuff, but they had to start their own cab business. The only problem that them fucked up was because they had business card, but they ain't really give the business cards out. They would just like give their own phone number out. So like when people need a call for a ride, it was like they'd be calling them in bed. It's like, I'm at home and shit like that. It's like that was counterproductive and that fucked up the whole operation. Just something small as that. So it's like if I can like really be the one to really lead our people, maybe to step in front to really just help organize ourselves to the point where we can own some laundromats and everything. We can own some things and stuff, And whether if my rap career pours in some profits into it, or if I can do something to pour, or whether if it's passive income somehow, to invest into that dream somehow, where it's like people can come straight out of Liberia and they already have a job here. Their kids can be able to be born in the States here. They go to school and everything. They get their degrees and they get their job. And then it starts generational wealth, and then it goes on, it builds on, it goes forever. Once we keep that momentum going on for, let's just say, several generations later and everything, just imagine the stuff we could do.
But shoot, let's put out Liberians already like doing it, like more showing Liberians like I came here and I still made it. Like fucking Michael Blackson, one of the biggest comedians. Everybody know Michael Blackson,
especially nowadays. She came a far cry from Next Friday and everything.
Michael Blackson is
fucking funny,
and he continuously shows him going back and doing what he do, and he even got property and he doing what he do as his man. Then you got people like fucking Topher, the new fashion brand, where it's like you want to talk about designer, go just fuck with Topher. It's a whole. I just learned there's like even my peoples know his peoples. Once again, that Liberian connection, all that shit. But it's just like things like that is like already the greatest that's coming from that specific nationality. Everybody put their flag on their back and like, what I'm saying, their nationality. Puerto Ricans doing what they do, what I'm saying? Whoever you come from, fucking Slovakia, Sweden, I don't give a fuck where you from. Everybody rocking their flag and rocking their flag and doing what they do. But it's a greatness that's, what I'm saying, being put in where I think the cohesion and the oneness is something that everybody on a global scale is getting with now. Because like going back to even just them wants and needs. Like sometimes it's like, yeah, like I feel like there's been a lot of people that showed like to reach a certain level, and it's like they only fund their wants nowadays, but what they really need to be doing is not getting done. And it's, you know what I'm saying? And that's not for me to say, that's just coming just out the mouth fully, because it's like, also think about it, it's just some of the investments is just very poor. Like, because it's just some of the shit is just like, okay, but that's coming from an empath. Because like I would want to see other people do better, and that would be my wealth. You feel me? But everybody got a different version of that. Where it's like for somebody spending 6 figures on a watch, I may more prefer to spend 6 figures on a school. You know what I'm saying? But everybody got different flexes. Everybody got different shit that they into. But it's like I'm more going off of need base. Like I don't feel like God gave me the ability to. I would say like I can want a lot, yes, but I don't even feel like now, because like I've had the stage and time of my life where I go through a time where it's like, okay, I got, you walk in a mall with money enough to buy anything out of any of these stores. That's a feeling that's like, it's a feeling that feels like all right, but then when you start just keep spending, you spending, you realize like this shit is not even, doesn't bring me back nothing. Not only that, a lot of this shit you lose, you fucking sell, you fucking put up, you don't wear no more, it don't fit you. All this type of shit, it don't work, whatever the fuck it is, it's just bullshit. So then it's like I had to go through that though to realize like, damn, no, really, like it's in the long term things. Like, no, I would rather love to have a school. I'd rather have foundations and, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature, because it's just like, it won't impress me. It just don't. I more get impressed with other humans and like their beings and like learning after them and like where they come from, what they got going on. And then being able, if I have information I can share with them, I love that as well. Back and forth. But I value humans more. Like I don't value, there's not no materialistic item that I value more than humans. At the end of the day, and then humans ain't materialistic.
I mean, yeah, I mean, for sure. Like, would you consider like maybe channeling that to like maybe going to teaching yourself? Maybe just, I don't know, teaching classes or whatever, or like.
I mean, bro, like honestly, I definitely believe that is a part of my path. Because I would say naturally, as I spoke on, there'd be sometimes in life where it's just like I literally bump into people, and sometimes I'm the one that's, giving the gift of information or certain things that person, like messages that need to get to that person, where it affects them deeply. And then that's the part where it's like the teacher part of me is like, okay, cool. Like I definitely understand I could be a good teacher, because even like animals, I could train animals, all types of animals. Like animals I didn't even meet before. Like I've worked with people, dogs. I literally just met them and now this dog is doing stuff that they weren't doing with the owner, but like now they're like on it. You know what I mean? And so I think like I value teaching, but I always will value being a student more, because I wouldn't be able to give out any information without being the student that I am as well. So I would say I'm just very strong with just being a student of the game, and I would never want to stray from being a student. And I never will. I would say like with teaching, I would always want to remind even anybody that may be receiving teachings or anything from me to realize that I'm still a student. Like the only reason that I may be able to relay these messages is because of how much work I put in as well. Like I don't want to talk out things to people. Like what irks my soul is if I feel like I'm being a hypocrite myself. I'm not going to tell somebody some shit that I haven't done or won't do or anything like that. I'm not that type of person. I don't like doing that shit because I won't feel good in my soul. It won't feel like authentic advising. It won't feel like authentic guidance. It won't feel like authentic teaching. None of that. Because I've seen where that shit gets you. Like where you're just like, you feel like you know it all, and you just being this know-it-all person, it's like you end up driving people darker down a worse path. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it could be like that. I know it's like the strive to be authentic is such a heavy struggle for sure because there's so many sides to like the human psyche and everything. A lot of who we think we are isn't even who we are, or a lot of us are kind of like there's perceptions of us that aren't very true also, but have some kind of truth into it here and there, and it's just like it's weird how life is just like that. It's just like because it's just like there's very surface level. It's like what we portray ourselves, and like then there's levels
Mm-hmm.
like who we are internally and everything. There's sides of us that we don't even like to even look into. It's like it's weird how the human mind is so
Uh,
complex and everything, and how even the human spirit is so individualized of us. Even at the same time, nobody on this world has the
mm,
same fingerprint as us. Nobody. No one has the same fingerprint. Everybody's fingerprint is completely different. And it's just weird how it's just like we really come into this life like
mm,
really just like as your own person, but we all got our own journeys we have to go through also. Which is why I love going to tarot readers and everything too, man. Everything I know I brought up like several times on this podcast, like my
mm,
experiences with tarot readers because it's just like now throughout all the tarot readers, all of them have always said that I was going to end up living up to being 80 and 90 years old, which I could see
mm,
because a lot, even my great grandmother, like, is still living to this day, almost about to touch 100 and everything. That's through Ebola, multiple civil wars, everything still works,
so
doesn't
even
give
off
a
your
damn.
bloodline.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's in the bloodline for sure. That it's like that we're very long lived people
Yeah.
and everything. Even my grandfather went through a whole stroke and everything. He used to smoke cigarettes like it was nothing, but he's still here and they're like he's still gonna keep living. I know
Mm,
somebody read his palm say he's gonna be living in his 90s and everything. We
mm,
all look forward to that also. Because I like to actually see him. I actually wanted him to see me graduate for sure. I
mm,
know that's like a huge milestone, even for him. Like his first grandchild's about to go graduate and everything,
mm.
get his degree and stuff. I know that's like very, very. I know you called me the other day, let me know like, oh, that's gonna mean so much to me and everything. And I'm like, oh wow, because I be thinking like this shit don't even mean a whole lot now. It's like like I'm already here, so it's just like whatever. And like,
But you
you
here
know,
and you completed, like you went all the way through. That's a difference. Cause like you, shit, I went to college for a year. I stopped.
hmm
That was a personal thing,
you and Trevor
but
both stopped for a year.
but like you know what I
Trevor's
mean.
living well though. That's what I'm
I was
saying.
about to
Like
say like
he got that
everybody.
IT money. I wish I was getting that
No,
IT
but I
money.
was about to say like everybody's in a different like standpoint. You know what I mean? Everybody has a different whole path. But what I'm saying is the commitment. Because even my sister, she's on her master. She passed her masters. She got her masters and all that shit.
Oh really? That's cool.
Hell
How old
yeah.
was she when she got
From
her
American
master's?
University at the top of that. Fucking 26?
She 26.
27?
Oh
Yeah.
okay.
Something like that. 26, 26, 26, 20, 25, 25, 25, 25. So yeah, like 25. And things like that is more of like, it's not necessarily the degree, I would say. I think I fall more in love with the perseverance
Mm-hmm.
to go through and do that to people that's like, "Oh, no, I'm gonna get my degree though. Like I'm in this specific field that still takes a time of completion. And I feel like it's a type of manifestation in itself. It's like, yeah, things is like laid out, but it's still a type of manifestation because not everybody goes through that.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we was talking about earlier, when I was like, okay, there was a part where it's like I realized like I didn't even really fuck with high school like that. But like I set my mind to the fact where I was like, okay, I gotta get my high school degree.
Mm-hmm.
This is free. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to pay for school, nothing like that. I at least could get my not no GED. I'm talking about my high school degree, how graduate on time, everything. And I did that. And then it's like when I did that, I was like, okay, cool. Like I didn't stay long for graduation, none of that. I was like, shit, I got my diploma, I'm good.
On your way out.
I'm gone. Yeah, I'm gone.
And I'm like, what's
And
West
so
Charlotte really is shitty for you like that? I feel like y'all probably had like some fun time. I know maybe the football games was shot up like hell. But it's like I'm thinking like maybe y'all probably had some shit going for you. Like I went to a fucking trailer park Queens Grand
oh, you
school
know
and
about Queen's
everything.
Grid.
Yeah, I hated that
Oh,
fucking place,
bro.
bro.
No,
Like
because I would say going to a school like West Shore is so rich in history.
I
It's
bet it
so
is.
rich in
So at
history.
least y'all
So then,
relevant. Like,
oh,
like
not even past that, but I would say like I think that's the difference because I do think like certain things matter like that because it's like it was. I feel like it wasn't even more about the school. It was about like the staff and administration and like all these people involved within the school, the students, friends, all that type of stuff. Where it's like even just how the school is built, it gave me a different experience to the extent where I felt as though like, okay, when I'm done here, like I'm gonna figure it out. You know what I mean? Because it was like I don't know. It just felt like that school kind of like enabled me to kind of figure things out. And I think like even having certain programs where it was like no, they like showing trades. Like I was in a carpentry class. You know what I mean? Where it's like, and then we had trips to like Harper campus for CPCC, and then like learned about trade schools and all that type of stuff. Where it's like, not all schools have a fucking carpentry room to do carpentry, or certain things like fucking, or the girls in cosmetology. So many great like women, like they've been making bread since they was 15 off doing hair and shit because there's a cosmetology class open. So there was already girls that was set on like, I'm gonna do cosmetology. I'm gonna do that. Like, and they was already getting hours, already getting certification, all of that shit to where they straight of high school diploma. And you think about, as I said, just even just a whole lot of people that have done what they've done. It's never been about like, those specific facts. It's just the person at the end of the soul. Who is this person?
Yeah, man, it's
You
just...
know what I mean?
How big was y'all graduating class at West Shore? I feel like it was in the thousand, like 1,000, 2,000.
It was actually small because not that many people graduated. Because also you gotta think about like, I mean, we
People
had old
actually
people that was like
graduated.
held back. Yeah, like we had people that was like held like still like 23 in high school. Like you're 22.
But how big was the high school? It was like hundreds of
But
people, or is it just? It was pretty big, right?
yeah, definitely thousands. Because there was also like people that was like in different programs, like the like middle college and shit.
Yeah.
So like they was attending the dub and stuff like that, but they had like courses outside of that. Like there was a lot of programs and shit set up like that. But like the graduating class, it was probably like 200, 300 with my graduating class. And because it was like, even it was crazy to see, bro. If you looked from like the stands, half of the seats was not filled.
Damn. That's because people just weren't studying, basically.
Like, bro, like, and they still had the seats out, which made it look like fucking way worse.
Wow.
But it's like you see like all these students in the front, and then you see all these empty seats in the back.
And that's supposed to be reserved for people that actually was supposed to graduate.
And that was like everybody's class. You see what I'm saying?
I still feel like I should have went though.
So you seem to, but that's what I was saying. Like that environment kind of opened up early, being open with like, what do you want? You know what I mean? Like, how there's schools that's like, I would say like more like PWI schools and stuff like that. It's kind of just more like it's eased about where it's like everybody's supposed to be doing this. Everybody's supposed to be getting out at this time. But those like schools like that gave different aesthetics because I feel like it highlighted the fact that it wasn't all about school and kids got things going on past some fucking school. Like, there may be a kid that's like, he's up and could be a whole lot of freshman, sophomore, whatever, but he got to find a way to feed himself. You know what I'm saying? His parents don't got it like that. Or his parents not even like, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. And you think about things like free and reduced lunch and stuff like that. Where it's like, you see some students come in to lunch and they tearing up the food like they ain't never ate before. Because it's like that is their time to eat when they get to school.
I remember middle school lunch was pretty damn good too, man. Like them had those great value pizzas, bro. Them shits used to smack low key.
Sticks, bro.
The cheese sticks were good too. I didn't mind the cheese sticks.
Cheese sticks was I feel like everybody had universal cheese sticks. I feel like cheese sticks. But yeah, bro. Like I'm talking about, but like go back, like damn near, like can I get second sturge? You know what I'm saying? Like students that want to take leftovers from the lunch. And I think things like that, like, put things into perspective. Where it's like, there was kids dealing with grown people problems at a kid age. So it's like, they was already in a different type of school, a different type of education, because they had to see different shit. You know what I'm saying? Do deal with different shit. So.
Yeah, man. Nah, for sure, man. It's just like I just feel like I would get along a little bit better at places like East at like West Mecklenburg School because it's like I feel like West Charlotte for sure. And this is just how my impression of West Charlotte. It's like y'all know what it's like to struggle and like y'all know like y'all have to make it anyway, but it's like y'all like aren't so head ass about it, like looking a certain way. I feel like a lot of people on East just want to look thuggish or want to look a certain way when they're not like that at all and everything. And even I spoke about it with one of my friends, like Ziggy and everything, longtime friends, just like people just always tried to follow behind people. Like you're like the few people that didn't want to follow. It was such a small high school and everything that you had people like in fucking 2 grades above you talking shit about you. Like, don't you got your own shit to focus on? Like you're pressed over a nigga 2 years younger than you. Like, come on, man. Like, what? I just thought the whole experience was just corny as fuck. Like, looking back at what high school was and everything. Like, y'all really not even in the same grade with me, and y'all literally need, like, to have my name in your mouth just to talk some shit. And it couldn't be me, man. I don't even like to look down on people just a year younger than me and everything. Because, like, what does that prove? Like, everything. You have the advantage of congregating with these people long beforehand and having like an opinion over somebody else that you don't even know really either. Right. And I found that just so weird. That's why I was like my high school was just mad corny, bro. Like so fucking corny.
You do get corny.
Because it was just like it was people who just like were like it was like a weird mixture of people who were just ghetto and like white kids who were just hella like bougie too at the same time and all in between of that. So it was like some characters here and there, but it was just like, bro, like I don't know. I'd rather go to like I wish I would have went to like a regular high school and everything. My mom's made me go there, and my mom's didn't let me leave for some weird reason. I mean, I'm glad.
Your education.
I mean, yeah. I mean, for what it was worth, I mean, I ain't really learned shit like that. It was basically like a mini Garinger. It wasn't even like
but
really
who you
that.
are today. Like when you think about it, like all that makes our experience and like grows with us. Because like if you wasn't in the environments, you would have dealt with certain situations that made you who you are today. You know what I mean? Where it's like at the same time, I feel like dealing with that side of adversity in that manner literally molded you into like a person that could be stable and sane in their own mind. And that's hard to do, bro. Like, cause a lot of people that's like, it don't matter. Everybody could have known them in the school. Everybody could like rock with them, all this stuff. But they didn't understand that they don't know nothing about themselves. They're more just like some people, during them times was riding off of that. You know what I mean? Like during schooling times, like people was riding off of who they were in school, which fucked them up because it's like, okay, now what? When school becomes an option, now what? In your adulthood, what are you gonna make shake?
Yeah, that's one way.
Same thing with like degrees and non-degree, all that other shit. It's like it's a choice for people. What are you gonna make shake? What are you gonna do about it? And it's like for you never. I feel like that's courage, that's strength, and that's boldness to sit and not conform to some shit that you seeing, and to, be like, okay, yeah, like y'all doing what y'all doing, y'all in the position y'all in right now, but this shit don't matter to me, and to still continue to do what the fuck you like to do, watch what you want to watch, find the topics that you're really interested in. People are behind from that. There's people in schooling, that went through school and all that shit. They could be out and they're still stuck on that shit and still they don't know what it is to become your own human being and like find shit that you really like. People are still going off of if everybody else like this or this specific group like this, then that's what I like.
And if everyone's against this, then I'm against
then
it.
I gotta be against it.
Man,
there's not no open-mindedness to like, okay, even if everybody's against this, I'm thinking a little bit and I don't think it's that bad. Or I don't think this is like this. I think it mean this. Like even bringing different interpretation to the table. People not willing to do that because of the fact that I feel like schooling, American schooling, institutionalization has done that to people on the social ladder. It's just making people feel like, okay, if I'm not with the sheep, then I'm not moving right. And it be that one sheep that go off, and it's like this sheep don't found a whole spring, and these other sheep just grouped up, just walking still a pasture. They just walking the grass. This other sheep don't ducked up, don't find his own little pond and shit. Don't it is cooling, all zenned out and shit. But like like that's just what happens, bro. So that's bold, like that's courage, man.
And
People
conformity
don't know
was just
that.
never an option for me growing up because it was
That's
just
hard
like
for some
because
people
it's
to
just
say.
no way I could ever blend in no matter where I go. It just doesn't matter if I'm at a predominantly white
Yeah.
school, it just or whatever school. It just never worked. Only place I felt like I blended in best was like at HBCU. That's why I could be
Yeah.
like as low key as I wanted to be and
Yeah.
everything. But it was just never an option to just conform to just do what everybody wanted to do and everything just to validate my existence and everything. I always found that kind of just mad corny. And
Mhm.
also, and everything that you're just gonna just follow behind whoever, just hate on whoever because somebody else has a problem, and everything. Like, come on, God put you on this earth to live, and you're basically giving it in the hands of people who bleed just like you, who have insecurities just like you, who probably don't even pay their own bills yet at that point.
Hello.
And it's just
All
like
this shit,
I just
bro.
realized, like, man, like we're really living in this world. Like, really, just you just imagine coming in this world and just being like a follower. It just
Mhm.
couldn't be me, man. Like, how could that be possible? You're gonna waste your time on this earth, all the things you can learn, all the things you can learn to do, all the things you can pretty much touch on and everything, the things you can discuss. You choose to just antagonize whoever you want or like I just follow behind whoever just because someone else told you. And it's just like, I feel like that's why even things like Christianity and religion really kind of impose on that you got to follow orders just because. And that's what fucks things
Mhm.
up as a whole. I feel like you should consider everything.
Mhm.
You can consider that there's truth in everything and there's right and wrong in everything, whether liberal or conservative, whether, spiritual or religious. You just should consider that there's truth on all bases. That's how you get all knowledge out. That's how you get your whole human experience. They're really just
Mhm.
considering all the experiences and all the perspectives. And I feel like the more people understand that, the more we can actually bind together to actually grow as a people. By now we could probably have all types of technologies if we all just wanted to just leave this all this primitive basis and trying to say who's better than who or who's
Mhm.
whatever than what. Why don't we just elevate as a people in order to move forward? I always found that
Mhm.
just so asinine that people always have to like pick sides when it comes to shit. You don't even understand like the basis of the argument or nothing like that. You just feel like you know people, and you like you don't really know these people and everything. Yeah. You don't really know someone until you sit down and get to know them. You can might have like
I don't even think
perspectives.
you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
yeah,
I don't think you can know anybody till you know yourself,
yeah.
because those are the people that be the most fool. Like quote unquote know all these people, but it's just like no, you know of their existence. All you know is of their existence of these people, but there's no way that you can be up under these people 24/7 a day. Like I'm talking about multiple people. It's just not possible. You can't be under multiple people 24/7 hours a day unless it's like y'all literally choose to do that. And it's like
Mm,
y'all in that same place. But it's like trying to get to know people and like want to find out all these things about people and you don't know nothing about yourself is one of the worst combinations.
mhm,
Because even I feel like that's the biggest relationship at the end of the day. Like when we see go wants and needs, it's like, bruh, there be some times where it's like, of course, I want company. I
mhm,
may want somebody to sleep with. I may want somebody to snuggle with. I may want somebody to watch this with or go do this activity with. But I learned it's just like sometimes it's just not a necessity because what I realized what was a bigger necessity was doing those same things, but just with myself. So now I'm saying I'll cuddle myself. I'll motherfucking go out to this movie and go see it by myself. I will go out and go travel by myself because of the fact that it's like that relationship began to feel like a necessity. Like I was like, oh, like I want other people around me, but I don't need other people around me because it's distracting me really in reality. Because during the time I'm sitting here striving to want attention from this person and this person,
mhm.
that's not attention that I need. Like I don't need it from these sources. I needed to place that attention on myself. And then when I did it, I was like, bro, I fucking love myself. And then when I did that, I was like, oh wow, like I'm meeting all these other people that's like loving themselves, and now they're like loving me freely. They're loving what I do, loving how I do things, and I'm like, wow, like this is where I feel like it's supposed to be. But it's like it gets tiring dealing with people that's like, and that's what I'm saying. Like it kind of comes back to you. It always comes back to like your fault, where it's like, damn, like I was fucking around with all these people,
Low vibrational type people.
yeah, all these people that's like I kind of wanted around me for the company and all this stuff. But I was like, bro, I do not need any of these people around me. I don't need, like, none of them is really doing that much for my life. I'm gonna be honest. Like once I realized like there was so many people around me that's not doing anything for my life, and I'm sitting here wanting to pour and do so much for this person's life, that shit was ass. So then it's like when I needed myself and I got to myself, and then I started feeling like the reciprocation is so beautiful, where it's like then you start seeing people do things that you did for others, but they're doing it for you. And now it's like easier for you to go back. Well, I shouldn't say go back, but be your natural self and do those same things in reciprocation, because that's who you are. Yeah,
Yeah, man, it just goes on forever and ever, like trying to rediscover the self, man. I swear.
yeah.
Is anything is the crazy part, you never really know who you are until you're dead. And then you can actually look back at your life to be like, okay, this is who I was at this stage. This is who I was at this stage and everything. This is who I was at that stage and everything. And it's just like, I always wonder about the future and everything when I go to spiritual guides and everything. I always wonder, I always ask the same kind of damn questions. It's just like, well, I'll meet my wife or whatever, like, how are my children, how my relationship with my children, because home life is such a very huge thing for me. For sure, because it's just like, with all the traumas I had to witness, all the stuff I had to deal with, I had to see both my parents arrested and everything over domestic problems, over just like arguments and stuff like that. And it's just like, I don't want to have to put my children through that and everything. And it's just like, I think back of this one time where like me and my mom's even got into like a screaming match and everything, because I know me and my mom, you see me and my mom, like we're cool and everything, but it's like, bro, there's stuff that you don't see. Everything. I love my mom's, that's, we're better now, but it was like points like where it's like I feel like she was just very not supportive of me for things. It was kind of like very counter like productive a lot of the time.
You don't feel like she was in her full like femininity, like you wanted to like go console like with her, and she was not like consoling, or like
it's not even the sense of that, but it's like on the femininity side and everything. Like I'm your son and everything. Like, you're like my first woman contact in the whole universe. One and two. You're basically the basis of everything. Of all my relationships come from like how like I interact with you, even with women too. And I feel like a lot of it kind of came up with her and everything. But it was just like we got into an argument. To basically, long story short, like when I graduated and everything, I got $1,200 and everything. So I was thinking, like, okay, I could probably use to save to get a car and stuff of that nature. If things were to go like the best way, my dad would have lended me that Cadillac a lot earlier, because he had that Cadillac all throughout when I was in high school. Could have handed to me back then. I could have been out my license way longer. My life would have been a movie all throughout high school, but to each his own. But it's just like, we're supposed to save to get this car and everything, and like she took this $1,200 not even trying to let me know exactly what she was doing, how we're going to be working with it. Like she tried to gaslight me, saying, oh, no, the 1,200 wasn't even 1,200, it was 800. And it was like, what happened to the 400? If you needed the 400, just let me know. Like, stop fucking with my head. Don't do that. Like, it's just like, and just expect me to be cool with it. Yeah, like, don't do that, because it's just like, but then it's like she put it in a CD account, so I wouldn't even get to it. And like,
well,
that
cool.
Was
actually kind of smart,
but it's like,
about to say, that's early interest.
But you didn't have to do that. You could just put in a bank account
in your name or in her name.
In her weird name. I don't even know what CD accounts were. The whole point of CD account, CD accounts are for like it's life like insurance type thing.
Well, it's like a not direct for investment. Like it's like, okay, you're putting this money into this account for this percentage of interest to gain on your money per month, per annual, whatever. And like usually CDs I think go for like 3 to 5 years, 2 to 5 years.
But
whatever.
To buy a car,
and like you have to keep it like at a like specific like years. And it's like that money, like you're gonna have this much. If you like, you can calculate it. Like, okay, I can keep this money here for this many years. It's gonna make me this much.
But to
And
buy a
like to
car
do
that
that,
you need now,
that wasn't
that's
it.
the thing.
I was
That's
about to
what
say, you
that's
had
what
to
kind of
go.
pissed me off about it
It was
because
your money anyway.
because
So
she
like,
really could have consoled me about that before she did anything.
yeah,
Why you did that behind my
it wasn't
back?
right.
It was
It
that thing.
wasn't
I
right.
wasn't even angry at that moment. I just left. I just left to go stay with my grandpa for a little bit. But it came into a head some months later and everything. I was going through a whole lot of shit at CPCC, and a lot of this was circulating. A lot of this car situation. Like I'd come home and everything, and then like she would be all like trying to like ask me about like because like this is the first time I'm getting financial aid money and everything. So just getting money just to go to school.
Yeah.
And she know about
Like
like,
a refund.
yeah, it's like why she would always like try to threaten me to like try to give me the money to her and everything. It was like it was like black and white movie type. So every time I step in, it's like, always felt like she was trying to threaten. Hold up. Trying to threaten. And I'm like, you ain't gotta do all that and everything. You didn't even tell me where the bank account was and everything. And it's just like when she actually got me the car, it broke down. Like it was the Lincoln and everything. That was the car. She got me in January. She didn't even console me on where we were gonna go, how we are gonna do this thing. It was a nice car. I like that Lincoln. Damn good car.
Nice.
But it broke. The timing chain broke. That was it. You had to get like the whole engine replaced and everything. And I wasn't even angry. I was still a little bit irritated. It got me more because I had to deal with all types of stuff just to get to this car. All types of stuff. I had to protest. I had to stay with other people, and I had to take out deal all sorts of shit just to get to this point. And this is what happened, And it's just like it didn't even come ahead to me until like we had to go to like a different community college in Levine because I was messing up so bad at CBCC all due to this whole car situation, more or less. And then it's just like like it felt like mom was trying to like start a fight with me for some weird reason. Like she's a Pisces. That's how Pisces they want to start fights for no reason. And it's just like, well, they never want to converse what's bothering them and why. It's just they just want to start
coming out.
Yeah, and it just started coming out, and it was just like literally, I was trying to look up an email, a confirmation email, like the office of CPCC sent me, and she thought I was just looking at my phone just to look at my phone or act cool or whatever. I'm acting cool. That's not even my personality. Type one. And it's just like you're trying to start a fight over this dang phone situation. She actually that's not even what set it off. It's like what really set it off is like because as we're leaving the office, I had the pen in my hand and everything. I'm like, oh snap! I almost stole the pen. I just drop it back at the like. Some people just kind of laugh. It's just like it's not even like a deep.
I was about to say that's a personality thing though. When you bring some shit back like that,
like it's just like it wasn't even a big deal just because of what I said. Oh, almost stole the pen. It was just like it just kind of slipped out. It's not even like a big deal. She actually tried to start she already started lecturing me over that, talking about like it's just like, oh, you always try to be the center of attention. You don't know how to focus on your I'm like, that's Lord. Being center of attention.
Oh Lord.
I started getting irritated because it's like literally because it just kind of ticked me off how she would get pressed over little things like me checking an email on my phone or like me putting a pen in a bag and everything. And then it's just like you stole a whole $1,200 from me. You put it in
it says you was flipping it and came back with less.
Gaslight me to thinking it was $800. Put it in a CD account without even consoling me. Waited like almost a year to actually get me an actual car and everything. Didn't even
took a little bit of profit out that CD.
Didn't even.
It was already $1,200. That was already enough to get a car.
Didn't even fix the dang car. The car came, it was already broken. Actually, when you actually got to fix it, then it broke down years later. You didn't even bother to fix it itself. I'm trying to manage school and everything. You're getting pressed over this and everything. We just got into a screaming match. We got mad, and he said that and everything. And it really hurt my brother and everything because my brother grew up and we grew up in the house where we saw mom and dad just kind of like on that shit and everything. And to think like my nephew was there kind of witnessing it and he was kind of starting to cry, and then like my younger brother was starting to cry too. I was starting to feel shitty about it also
because it just was like a reminder type shit
about like the past and we wanted to let go,
like a reflection,
and everything. But it was like you gotta admit like she was wrong about a lot of the stuff too. And I don't care about being right. It's like don't be on that shit, man. It's like real. This guy had to go. But yeah, she was just had me fucked up and everything over that. It was very over the top. But it's just crazy how like things like even like your relationship with your parents can really affect you. I feel like on my issues, especially with a woman, it's very hard for me to really be vulnerable without having to be. I have to expect pain. Vulnerability, I attribute it to be to be like where pain, like that's pain. And I never see vulnerability as a place of peace or a place where I can put my guard down without. Every time I put my guard down in any situation, it always comes with some kind of harm. Whether if it's psychological, emotional, or physical, it manifests some type of way. So that's one of
Being
my
a vulnerable person first.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest. I'm a logical person. I overthink things a lot because I want to be able to see if there's any holes in something first before like really going through with something. At the same time, I always try to see if I could prepare myself any types of way before something like comes to pass, you know? And so it's just, I just see it as my responsibility to really ensure that because I feel like, you know, growing up, I kind of had to like raise myself in one hand. I feel like my counselor kind of brought that up to me too. Like I basically had to raise myself. You know, and it's just like, you know, on top of that, I have the younger brother too. And then my father wasn't there, you know, because, you know, the divorce situation. So it's like I had to be like a parent, an older brother, and I had to kind of be like, you know, like that figure as best as I can too, you know. And it's just at the same time still trying to go to school to do the best I can and be a kid at the same time. So it's just like, you know, I was saying, even being like, even Ziggy even speak about it though, it's like my friend Ziggy, it's just like when you're basically an inner city kid, you know, you basically have to age a lot faster than a lot of these cats. So like when I see like in high school and everything, y'all ain't seen shit, bro. Y'all ain't seen nothing. I seen both my parents arrested right in front of me and everything. I just had to endure all types of stuff and everything. Y'all don't even know about. Y'all don't really know struggle. Like, you know, when you know struggle, when you know pain, you try to brighten up the world as best as you can. That's why a lot of like great comedians are always so depressed and fucked up because it's just like, you know, because it's just like it's the only way to really. What's the guy doing? So I'm just I'm like, what in the hell? It's like she howling.
No, I'm gonna say she getting herself together. It might just be some energy she getting.
Yeah, dude.
That disturbed her. There was some energy that disturbed
dude, it's like 5 a.m. in the morning. We actually really do need to wrap this shit up.
I was about to say,
because we've been here for like a whole time. You think we should probably do a follow-up episode? We can probably do a follow-up.
I'm with it. You already know.
I'm here for until Sunday. We might as well, bro. But it's like, this is the 49th freaking episode of the Mental Threads podcast. Hello. You got any last words you want to say before you buzz off or whatever?
Sure, man. I just want to say, you know, definitely consider, you know, the fact that urge of your wants may not always be what you need because of the fact that it's like sometimes what you need is a higher connection and it's above you. And sometimes it may not be for you to question, but get it done. And there may be a brighter end than your want because you know what the resolution to your wants is going to get you. So I would say that. So signing off. Love being on the podcast, bro.
No, for real. I know I was on your podcast a while ago, you know, Uncultured and everything. Go check that out for sure, man. It's just like I've been trying to keep, you know, this is kind of like motivated me to do my own podcast. I can't believe how far I got with this shit, bro, dude. I was scary.
Going crazy, bro.
No, really, bro. And I need to really get on Spotify. Hopefully I can get some merchandise done. So it's like, yeah, man. So yeah, that's it. Episode 49. The damn Mental Threads podcast. We sewing in, now we sewing out.
Yes, sir.